That's one of the craziest Greyhound bus stations you'll ever go to. You go there at night. Yeah. I will take G Street up. So we came up to Victoria. I had a homeboy, Big Mike, used to live right over here. Some LSR. Cloudy day today. Bliss Liquor. G Street. This is literally the first street I went down when I moved to San Bernardino, well, from the north end to the neighborhood. At the height of the gangbang era. This used to be Groove Time right here. Legendary hood record store. And matter of fact, there used to be a billboard, like one of those, right behind this shop, and it had a Ruthless Records billboard chilling right there, and that was my elementary class right there. So I'd come out and see all the NWA and all that Ruthless Records. I'm gonna pause my mic for a minute. So I was just telling my baby girl that right here, now, I'm saved, okay, but this is testimony, you know what I mean? This was the homeboy Hanafi's spot. Look at, they got the loquats out here. But his brother was hitting up the IE right here. Now, if you don't understand the streets, like, this is gonna sound foreign to you, but you could fast forward it later on, So his homeboy his little brother, they're like little Bebe kids. Like when Bebe Kids came out, the comedy sketch, I was like, dude, he knows dude's little brothers, because these little kids would run up, like little kids, right? They'd run up and sock you in the chest and then, bone out. I was like, oh, you bad little, such and such. But we used to always crack up about him. Anyway, we got on the subject of area codes, and then I was asking my homeboy, I was like, yo, why was he saying that like that? He's like, oh, like repping the area code for, we got on the subject of repping the area code for, as a gang related thing, like, to be honest. And that was the first time we started. If you ever see, again, in gang lore, if you ever see them write the area code at the top of the set, that started right here. 714 West Side IE Mob, the homies from the mob. Again, I'm saved, but his testimony, it was me, the homie Spider from West Side Verdugo, the homie Gene, and Hanafi, and a couple others out here. I think my cousin Jason was there. And yeah, that's how that got started. The 714 thing blew up in San Bernardino. Like, if you do a YouTube search, type in 714 old school, like San Bernardino rap or something, you'll see all these dudes repping 714. But if you go to look at the area codes now this area, San Bernardino County, is 909 area code. But because of what happened was, Pac Bell was like mortified at the gang stuff that was going on um, in the area and all over Southern California. And they're like, this area codes, stuff, it's become a gang thing, and everyone's claiming 714. And they chose to break up the area code. They're like, we're not going to have this. So they took it upon themselves to like go and mess with things. And then this became 909. They actually gave 714 out to Orange County, which was, kind of like, it was a bit of slap in the face for the streets. But that's the story of how that happened. And so when you hear that song, I got holes in different area codes, like a lot of that repping your area code as far as that way started right here. That's some hood, royal hood knowledge for you right there. Again, I am saved, I promise you. But, and the time I grew up, man, this place was crazy. Whether you're, white, Mexican, or black. These look all prim and proper now. None of this was the same back in the day. There's a fence, a chain link that went around right here. And these were little PJs, little projects, like a little tiny set. I had a homeboy that lived there. I had homies all through this neighborhood. Sorry again, I'm very congested. Alright, let's see. Dip in. Right through here, like that. Dip. That's Purdue High School, San Bernardino High School. We used to break in every night and go swimming. I'm gonna tell the homie Spider to get on here and take a look at this video. Comment down below, homie. We're thinking about doing a radio show together real soon, so stay tuned. When I can breathe better anyway. That should be shortly. This looks all nice, but like there's a little bit of hit ups. This building's been repainted. I don't know how many times this building's been repainted. It's crazy little apartments that were right here. You end up wandering through. It's like San Bernardino was just a different place. This used to be Del Taco, McDonald's. There's Arrowview. Kids don't look like when I was going there. I don't know if that's because it's a middle school. No, I don't know if they don't even have junior high. So it was just 7th and 8th grade. Me and the homie Spider had the security guard, Valerie, that would try to catch us snitching every day. I wish you could go like up in here like this. No. There we go. Alright. So you got like the dining hall we had an assembly one time where the local PD came and insulted everyone and was like, "We don't want you guys to fall victim to gang banging." And they're like, "All of you kids right now are known as what we like to call busters." And everyone just broke out like, "What? Like, what are you saying, bro?" That was really hilarious. It's like you think he's gonna say some like highbrow word, but he's like he called everyone busters. We're like, what? What are you doing, bro? So the city of San Bernardino, if you notice, there's the freeway right here, the 215. It dips all the way south, and then turns into the 10. That's the San Bernardino freeway. It goes all the way into LA. Well, from LA, actually all the way through Louisiana, and all that really. They should call it the southern, the Southland Freeway or something. It was the San Bernardino Freeway. I don't know if they've changed it, but anyway, the whole city, this right here separates the west side and the Santa Fe railway tracks. And the west side is basically cut off. It's like traps you in. If you want to get back to this side of the city, you have to cross a bridge. And one of the tightest neighborhoods ever is like on every street, bang, 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 with different clicks. So it can be a feat at times. I went to Riley and Roosevelt, and yeah, giving up too much game, but it was a ordeal, let's say, to get from the west side on certain days with my fair white skin. But everyone had, people that, you gotta be known to get any kind of respect back then. So it's just different. There's less, there's like street stuff now, but it's just, I don't know, it's a lot different. And this should be 7-Eleven, Highland Avenue. Legendary 7-Eleven right here. In the 80s, you had arcade, or arcade games in 7-Eleven was like the thing, you know what I mean? That's like a no-brainer. And we had Street Fighter when it first came out. You could go buy Transformers and GoBots there. But we had the little homies that were always good, like my little Mexican homies would have the comb in between their fingers and tap on the machine to get like punch, kick. Like they had it down to where you would just have a little black comb over your fingers to where it's like resting on your middle finger so it can go back and forth. And he was a legend. Like all the ones who learned how to do that move just killed it, like national scores, But yeah, it was cool. It was really cool back in the day. And you have 99.1 KGGI used to be right here in my old neighborhood. And let's see, go over to East Street. Also right here from my neighborhood is the very first McDonald's. Now, if that isn't cool, like, you're welcome, basically, is what I'm telling you. Now, because if you ever see the movie The Founder, it's a good movie. You'll see what happened with the first McDonald's, that whole situation. But now, the one of the businesses, or the type of businesses that do well in San Bernardino, are food chains, right? just legendary food here, man, especially Mexican food. But I mean, you see the first Taco Bell. Now, the first Taco Bell itself was opened in like Downey or something like that, but the crunchy hard taco shell is actually from right down over there. There was a guy working at a cart, hot dog vending cart, right? And he seen this restaurant on the like right across the street from where his little cart was set up was doing gangbusters, kind of like how this was popping. And he went in there and he was like, oh, he befriended the owner, and he's like, what did you guys make here? And they're like, oh, check out, the lettuce from this area is really, really fire. Like all the ingredients are just, there's something in the, I don't know, the ground or something, I don't know, but something just makes it, it's just really right in the zone kind of thing. Same with the oranges. But anyway, so he basically jacked the idea for the crunchy taco and their whole setup, and then went and opened up. He was like, I know this is going to do well. And so San Bernardino got jacked twice in a row, and like we just didn't do anything. I don't know what happened. Like, what's going on, San Bernardino? Also, Purdue High School is dope. Look at the handball courts right here. I used to play handball right here. You can't see them. You can climb on all the roofs here. Different stories. They're not appropriate broadcast. Anyway, also, close this out. Do you see this shape right here that's on this mountain? Now, I don't know why it's flat, but there should be a dope hotel that pops up. You see this hotel right here? This is Hollywood royalty. Even President Roosevelt used to hang out right here. And that's because, go look at the San Bernardino city website and you'll hear a tale, the main story that, from what I could tell, the most, current one, about this arrowhead, and it's on some biblical type stuff, man. It's crazy, but it reminds me of Exodus, honestly. But I mean, who knows? I put faith in the Bible. I don't, everything else you gotta prove it to me, bro, because the Bible's something else. But anyway, this arrowhead right here, this is where you get Arrowhead water. Okay, the creek that comes down right here is Waterman Canyon, and this is why you see the arrowhead and the name Arrowhead Water. But this arrowhead predates the local Native American population. Think about that. And it's a natural feature, they say, but it's quartz. Most of it, I guess, is quartz. It's been burnt countless times, along with different variations of this hotel. But what's a trip about it is it actually points to hot springs, mineral hot springs, that come from well, I know the whole area has an aquifer. There's a Southern California aquifer, but I'm not sure what, I'm not an expert geologist or anything like that, but it's the hottest hot spring on Earth. And it quickly got a reputation for being therapeutic. And so even in World War II, I think, World War II, end of World War I don't know, probably somewhere in there, they actually had a military hospital here, and they would go and, get healed in the waters. So another trippy part of this property, you can see there's a bunch of old Hollywood movies that were filmed here too. Hollywood's like right over there. This road right here is Waterman Canyon Road, and I believe it's this spot right here. Now you can see it's actually, I think this doesn't really do it justice, to be honest. I can't remember if that's the spot. But there's a spot, basically, it goes up and then it goes down. It's like somewhere right in this area. I'd have to drive it to be able to tell you honestly. Where, and they've measured it, Caltech has been out there and everything, but you have a gravity anomaly where cars will actually end up rolling uphill. So, and it's not a visual anomaly, it's actually, the elevation has been checked and everything. So, and when I was a kid, there was all kind of mention of there's an ancient Indian burial ground, and so the Indians would push, the stuff off of there and, off that part of the road. If you notice, there's little scratches in the land. You can see that they're not quite, they look kind of made, right? And then you look at this arrowhead and you're like, oh, there's already some trippy stuff on here anyway. But if you notice, there's little like carvings. There's all sorts of ancient Native American carvings. Like there's a big tarantula, and in that you can't really see it because of, I doubt I'm gonna get a good angle. But there's a tarantula, and in that that particular belief system, they hold time, right? They keep time in place. But there's a ton of these carvings, including a mountain lion and all kind of stuff from way back in the day. There's actually videos of it on YouTube. You can check it out. But this whole area in here, tons of history. All circling around this arrowhead. And then the fact that it points down to the hottest hot spring on the planet, it really lends to the overall supernatural lore of the area. And San Bernardino has a lot of supernatural lore about it, both good and bad, unfortunately. But Brigham Young came from Utah, and what do they call it, the Mormon Trail? But he was shown in a dream or a vision or something like that. But there's two or three people in history recorded, separate groups of people, not related, that were shown visions of this arrowhead. And in the Indian story, Native American story, I prefer the first, and I do have an eighth to a 10th Native in me. So I thought that was a noble word. People heard the word Indian, and that was like a natural nobility to it. You know what I mean? Whether someone used it beforehand or not, that's what in those back in the day, we associated the word Indian with Native Americans, and there was no kind of bad anything to it. It was a noble thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so Brigham Young gets this vision. He says in the dream he hears like from God to go to this place that is marked with an arrowhead and settle there. And so the Mormon settlers came in from Utah and helped to settle the area. Now there's all kind of tales about what happened after that, there's a big history there, let's say. But yeah, all around this area. Yeah, pretty trippy, right? up in the mountains, this is where you have Lake Arrowhead, Big Bear. All that is part of the San Bernardino Mountains. This is Highway 18 on the left, and then this is Waterman Canyon. This is all canyon country, and so you have canyon country with, San Bernardino's a little bit drier, but you'll see when San Bernardino gets rain, all of this turns green, and I mean green like Pennsylvania or something. Like, it doesn't look like California. It's really weird. It's like all of it. It's usually dry, but every once in a while you get a season of everything. It looks totally different. There's a ton of tarantulas all on this road. Sometimes in certain seasons you'll see the whole road is covered. This is the creek, Waterman Canyon, that you get Arrowhead water from. Well, they get it from different sources now. They have different bottling sources. But this is one of the sickest roads that you can drive. It's called Rim of the World Highway. If you see on Netflix, they have that movie, Rim of the World. I think I did a video like this fairly recently, but I don't know if I did it with audio. Try not to go too in depth, but I just covered a bunch of miles there, so you know. And we're right about 6,000 feet above sea level. That's the coast over there. So, and back in the day, nothing but smog. In the 80s, like, I don't know if they cry about the smog levels nowadays, but it's nothing like it was. So taking leaded gases, away was a really good move. You see the sunsets and stuff from this area, man. Look at this. Always got to hit something up. And this was my oh, that's crazy. Look at, someone caught a rat picture with a long ISO setting. And that's Riverside over there, Orange County, LA. Palm Springs. Behind me is Victorville, Hesperia, Apple Valley, up to Barstow, Bakersfield, all that. Las Vegas, to the east. But yeah, so you got the neighborhoods down there, Southern California, but then you have Alpine country, and this is like San Bernardino. Was part of Spain twice. Southern California was. And it was part of Mexico twice before going to the United States. And it's like you can see videos about those wars. Now they trying to cut each other off, and Santa Ana and all that. But I mean, this was always really cool for me when I was a youngster, because I go up from crazy life to regular, like, rich folks. Not rich, just different than the city I'm from. I'll be right back. from the movie Next with Nicolas Cage. They have it made into a hotel. Used to be called the Cliffhanger. No, it's Horatios or something like that. I don't know. Hey, you guys, I'm in here narrating, so you know, but you're all good. Just avoid personal topics, I guess. Yeah, this is that's that was the former head of Disney's house he had built up here. You can't see it, but everything up in these mountains is really Disney hyped up, not actual Disney, but it's all like modeled after Europe. In the San Bernardino area, which is next to Switzerland and all that stuff. So that's when they saw the area back in the day, they're like, wow, this reminds us of the area in Europe, like a smaller version of it. And that's why having the mountains here at this elevation, especially in the middle of Southern California, is just like you can't beat it. And it gets even higher. It gets up to I think San Gorgonio is 11,500 feet. But yeah, I mean, super dope houses. A lot of like normal houses are built, on the edge of, mountains. So they actually go down on one side really far. So you end up having 7-story homes that you end up getting for, not that much more than, back in the day. Now, like I said, all the rent has been through the roof. And that's why you see all the homelessness on the West Coast. But they won't cover it. So it was planned. They used to film Bonanza in the backside of the mountain. Well, I know some of the episodes, not all of them, but Anyway, I think that's about it. I might stream again later on some GTA or something. Take it easy.